Thank you very much, Ted, for that very, very generous introduction. Thank you for being with me all day from the time that we ate a big Miner's burger at lunch till we went out to Riverside. And Superintendent Van Beek, what an experience that was. That is a great group of young people. We had a Q&A session that went on for a long time. I got some great questions, much better than any that I've ever gotten from the Washington Press Corps or Chris Matthews. And it was a wonderful time that I'll never forget. I very, very much wanted to be here with you, for there is a war being waged, not just a war in the Middle East, but a war here at home, a war over the soul of America. It has been said that if you want to change the world, you begin with the children. It's just as certain that if you want to guarantee the downfall of a nation, you begin with its young people. So I feel privileged to be with men and women of faith who work so hard, who sacrifice so much, who contribute so generously to the important cause of educating our children for eternity. I first got my taste of politics when I was a young lad in the 1940s, growing up in the Appalachian village of Young Harris, Georgia. My father, who had been a history teacher, died when I was 2 weeks old, and my mother never remarried. She raised me and my sister, who was 6 years older, and she served on the town council for 25 years, and at one time was one of 2 female mayors in the entire state of Georgia. Now, it is a tiny town, a tiny, tiny town. We recently had an election, and the mayor in Young Harris was reelected 57 to 31. So you can see how small it is. And back then, the men folk would come to our house to pay their taxes. My mama was the city clerk, and later, when we got a water system, to pay their water bills. And I can remember that when they turned loose of that money, they always had some choice comments about the amount they had to pay and how it was going to be spent. And so I came to realize early on that there's no such thing as government money. There is only taxpayers' money, money that belongs to those who earned it. And decades later, as governor, I remembered those grizzled old mountaineers in their overalls, and I cut state taxes 3 times, including taking the sales tax off groceries, which Georgians had been paying for 40 years. I got another good policy lesson when I joined the Marine Corps. I got a lot of good lessons there. I once wrote a book called Core Values. Everything you need to know, I learned in the Marine Corps. One of the main lessons I learned was this. I gave my country 3 years of service, and my country gave me a college education with the GI Bill. I gave something, and I got something, and that's one of